Hey class, today we're going to be covering multi-step equations where we have variables on both the left side and the right side. So let's go ahead and jump into number one. All right, so with number one, we're going to go ahead and solve this just like we would any other equation. These look a little bit different because we notice that there's x's on both sides. But let's figure out how to take care of those. So let's first of all go ahead and let's just deal with getting all of the x's on one side. So the way we do that is we undo whatever is happening on one side. So I don't really like dealing with negatives as much, so I'm going to take care of this negative right here. So negative 6x, well, the opposite or inverse of taking away 6x's is to add 6x's. But of course, to keep the equation balanced, because I did this to the left side or the right side, I now need to do it to the left side. So I'm going to add 6x's to both sides. So negative 6x plus 6x, those cancel out and equal 0. So I've just gotten rid of those on that side. And I'm left with 46 on this side plus, well, 4x's plus 6x's is 10x's, right? Because 4 plus 6 equals 10. And all of that equals 76. All right, now with this, we need to get all of the other numbers off of the side with x, now that we've gotten all the x's on the same side. So we're going to start, remember we have to undo the order of operations, and this 10 is more closely connected to the x. It's being multiplied by the x. So we're going to start by getting rid of this 46 because we're doing the order of operations backwards. So we're going to actually start with addition and subtraction. All right, so to get rid of this 46, we need to undo adding 46. So we're going to take 46 away from both sides. All right, these equal 0. 0 plus anything equals that, right? So 0 plus 10 equals 10. 0 plus 10x equals 10x. And 76 minus 46, well, that equals, let's see, 6 minus 6 is 0, 7 minus 4 is 3, so that equals 30. So 10x equals 30. All right, so now we need to get rid of this 10. So we're going to undo multiplying by 10, right? Because this 10 is being multiplied by the x. We're going to undo that by dividing both sides by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1, okay? And 1 times x equals just x. And 30 divided by 10 equals 3. So our answer is x equals 3. Now, again, I'm not so much concerned about the answer. What I'm concerned about is this, you understanding how to actually do it. Because getting the answer without understanding how to do it doesn't help you at all. So we go ahead and type in our answer, x equals 3. All right. Let's go ahead and do number 2 now. So number 2 looks like this. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with our notes with this. You should be copying these notes down so that way when you do the ones that I'm not doing for you, you have something to reference so you know how to do those. Okay. So for this one, the thing that we're going to need to do is, again, we need to get all the x's on one side. So I'm going to deal with this negative 3x. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3x to both sides. Okay, so with our notes, we're going to write what we're doing. So we're going to undo taking away 3x by adding 3x. And negative 3x, adding 3x, that cancels out and equals 0, okay? And then 5x's plus 3x's, or 5x plus 3x equals 8x. Again, plus 80. And then over here we have 96 on this side. Okay, so now we need to get the x all by itself. We need to work the order of operations in reverse. So we're going to start with addition instead of starting with parentheses and exponents, multiplication and division. So we're going to get rid of this 80. So we're going to undo adding 80 by subtracting 80. Okay, so we're going to do the inverse. The inverse of addition is subtraction. And we're going to do that from both sides. So 80 minus 80 equals 0. They cancel out, leaving us with just 8x, because 8x plus 0 is 8x. Anything plus 0 is that, right? 8 plus 0 is 8. So 8x plus 0 equals 8x. 96 minus 80 is 16. So we have 8 times x equals 16. All right, now we have this 8 being multiplied by the x. So we need to undo multiplying by 8 by dividing by 8. So we're going to do that to both sides. So we're going to divide both sides by 8, just make it into a fraction. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times x, because it's called the identity property of multiplication. It means that anything multiplied by 1 is going to be whatever that number is. X times 1 is x. 0 times 1 is 0. 10 times 1 is 10. X times 1 is x. All right, it retains its same property. It doesn't change. So 16 divided by 8 is 2. And that's how we do this. And so these notes over here are super important, understanding the why and how, what numbers we get rid of first, okay? So x equals 2. Now, one thing that we have also done with this sheet is we have made it so that you can submit your answer before you have completed all of them. So we're going to submit it. We're going to view our score, and we did 2 of them. So we see that we got those 2 correct. We got number 1 and 2 correct. We haven't done the rest of these. And then, of course, this is where this comes in super handy, because all we have to do to get back to our regular test, or not, this isn't a test, but our regular assignment, you type in edit your response. And we can see that everything is still there. So we did number 1, we did number 2. We haven't done the rest of them. We're going to go ahead and jump down to number 8. This is the very last example I'm going to do with you. And this should give you enough to go off of. All right. So let's go ahead and continue this with number 8. All right. So here we have negative 2x plus 58 equals 98 minus 12x. So again, now you might be saying, well, you know what, we have a negative 2x here and a minus 12x here. And really, you could start with either side. You could add 2x to both sides, or you could add 12x to both sides. To me, I realize that if I add 2x, I'm only going to have minus 10x over here. But if I add 12x to both sides, that means I'm going to end up with a positive x. And I'd rather deal with a positive x. So let's go ahead and do that. Sometimes it'll be inevitable that you can only work with a negative x, but we don't have to this time. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to undo taking away 12. So undo subtracting 12x by adding 12x to both sides. Okay. All right, so minus 12x and 12x, they cancel out. They equal 0. And negative 2 and plus 12 is 10, positive 10. Remember, same sign add, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the larger number. So the different signs, so 12 minus 2 is 10. The 12 is positive, so our answer is positive. So 10x plus 58 equals 98. All right, so now we need to get rid of we want to get x all by itself. So we're going to eventually need to get rid of the 10 and the 58, but we need to undo the order of operations in reverse. So we're going to start with addition and subtraction because we already have an equation. With expressions, you do the order of operations in order, but with these equations, you do the order of operations in reverse. So let's go ahead and get rid of the adding 58. So we're going to undo adding 58 by subtracting 58 from both sides. So by doing that, we get rid of this 58 on this side, and 98 minus 58, well, that is, let's see, 8 minus 8 is 0, 9 minus 5 is 4, so we have 40. So we end up with 10x equals 40. All right. Now we need to get rid of this 10. And this 10 is being multiplied by the x. So to undo multiplication, or specifically to undo multiplying by 10, we need to divide by 10. Okay? So let's divide both sides by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1, and 1 times x is x. 40 divided by 10 equals 4. So x equals 4. And then on your papers, you want to get into the habit of putting a box around it. So if anything happened with the form, or everything got deleted, you can go back and be like, oh, number 8, x equals 4. It's just really easy to find the answers that way. So let's go ahead and type our answer in. X equals 4. And then what I like to do is sometimes I like to just check all of them, because why would I want to move on? And I only had 2 correct. We've done 3, so that means that we got that last one correct. Again, go back to edit our responses, and you should be able to get all of them right. Now, if for some reason you didn't get one right, let's just say that we said number 3. Oh, so we have to go to our editing of the responses. So let's say number 3, I said the answer was 38. Okay. That's not right. We push submit, and I can see that I got that one wrong. So what I can do is I can go back and reattempt it. So I just go back to edit my response, and I go back to number 3 and delete that one and start over and try again. All right, now, one thing that I also want to point your attention to is that when you get stuck, I also provided an example of how to do these at the top of this assignment. So you can see we have an example of here that shows how to solve these. So you have actually a 4th example. All right, good luck and have a good time doing your math.